Hey everyone, and welcome to your carrier update presented by PowerFleet on this Thursday. I wanted to go ahead and dive into some emerging trends that we're seeing in the freight market. So behind me, I've got the length of haul volume measures. So everything from 0 to 800 plus mile loads. This pink line right here is the one to pay attention to. That's going to be their tweener loads, anything moving between 450 to 800 miles. We have started to see the emergence of e-commerce and shifting supply chains across the country. What that's doing is it's actually shrinking the middle haul and the tweener haul loads in the country. So anything moving between about 250 to 800 miles, we're seeing a lot less volume because DCs are being positioned closer to the end users. Tweener volumes down 1% year over year compared to this time last year. Everything else relatively high. Surprisingly though, long haul volumes up 12% versus this time last year. So we're not seeing the contraction in the long haul lanes because they're having to still travel a length to get to the DCs. But from there, the smaller length of hauls are actually pervading the market. So another interesting trend that we're watching here, this is inbound empty containers going into the Newark and also the Los Angeles market. You can see a big convergence here. Container volumes, empty container volumes into the Los Angeles port in yellow, contracting. The ones expanding going into the Elizabeth, New Jersey area. So what this is signaling is that a lot of the freight is starting to move into the eastern market versus the western market. The big story of the year has been the expansion of Los Angeles year over year. The early part of the spring, a lot of volumes coming out. And then later part of the year, a lot of Newark volumes. This has to do with trade war and northern China versus southern Asia type shipping patterns. So we're really starting to see that crank up here as we enter the fourth quarter. You see volumes right here for the Elizabeth, New Jersey market in green starting to expand rapidly, and the ones going to LA, they're still growing year over year, but far slower than we were this time last year. So the big story though here, back to the full point of the length of haul, short outbound tender volumes contracting off the West Coast dramatically, expanding on the East Coast. That means that these are moving into endpoint DCs. So all the carriers out there really need to pay attention to their minimums, their shorter length of hauls, especially in the metropolis, megalopolis area over the next month or so as we close out the retail season. And that'll do it for today's Carrier Update. Have a great Thursday.
The comprehensive logistics offerings from PowerFleet cover in-cab ELD, fleet management, trailer tracking, cargo monitoring, and tracking other assets such as chassis and intermodal containers. Power up your operations with PowerFleet.